Hi guys! In this session with River, we're going to be practicing foot handling or leg handling in preparation for her first farrier trimming experience and as well as just general maintenance. I haven't been able to pick up her feet really at this point, and they're in desperate need of care. You'll notice here in the beginning, all I'm wanting is just a little bit of a weight shift, and then I give a click, and then her reinforcement is being groomed. She really enjoys the scratching and the massaging of the grooming tools. I'm not using a pressure and release so much as I'm using just a tiny bit of a pressure as a cue, and then I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for her to wonder what is going on and why are you putting this hand on me, and offering a behavior, and then I click and reward. So there's not a continuing pressure. I'm not just continuing to apply more and more and more pressure. I'm just putting my hand there and waiting to see for a response. She's also completely at liberty. She's able to walk off if she wants to. I am not holding her here and forcing her to do this. But you'll notice that she is picking this up really fast and doing an excellent job. She's trying really hard for me. Picking up hooves is really difficult for horses. I think we take it for granted. We just assume that they'd be perfectly fine with having their legs trapped in a way. It's actually a really unusual thing for horses. They don't have anything out in the wild that just picks up their leg and traps it there unless it's a bad thing. So we're asking our horses to give us part of their stability, part of their balance, and part of their flight mechanism, and asking them to leave it in our care and to trust us. And so it takes time and it takes patience, and it just takes some steady, patient work. So now we've moved on to the back legs. I'm running my hand down her leg just to kind of remind her that I'm there. I'm also checking on her skin at this point. We've done minimal deep skin care here. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for her to give me a little response, just even a weight shift, just moving that weight off of that leg, and then click and reinforce. And there she did a tiny little weight shift, and I rewarded. And there you could see it was a much quicker response and in a faster time period. With practice and continuing to train this, we will gradually ask for the foot lift to be higher, and then we will add duration, so the length of time that it's up in the air, and then we will add the ability to be able to clean out the hoof and then be able to work on the hoof, having it trimmed and groomed or filed and everything. But she did such a great job, I decided to give her a break there, and I come back probably about 4 or 5 minutes later. And we're going to work on the other side. And she got off balance and kind of throws herself over to the side, but that's perfectly normal. She picked up her foot. She gave it to me anyways. That's okay. I'm not looking for duration. I'm not looking for anything except for her just to learn or to start learning the process of picking up the foot when I ask. And there she did a beautiful job. She is pulling the foot out of my hand, and later on you'll see that becomes a bit of an issue, and that's okay. I think it's perfectly normal. She's just not, she doesn't understand that I want her to keep the foot in my hand, and we address that later. She gets a little bit distracted by the other horses, and that's okay. That's why I have her out here and at liberty. I just let her choose when she's ready to work and when she's busy doing something else. Later on, I'll ask for her to stay connected with me a little bit more in her training, later on in her training, but not through force or anything. It's just adding duration to our sessions. But right now she's still young. She's still learning how to learn. That sounds interesting, but Just like with infant humans, they don't have an attention span that's really long in the beginning, and you have to teach them to be able to sit down and pay attention for extended periods of time. It's the same with horses, and it doesn't have necessarily to do with her age, although age is a factor, but it also happens with older horses too that have never been consistently worked with or taught how to learn. Now I've brought her inside just because, actually she walked herself inside and I followed, and then I shut the door behind us just so she wasn't moving in and out. But she has food that she can eat if she wants, but she's just choosing to stand here. And I think having her head up will help her practice her balance a little bit more, so I find this is a really good part of our session. She's doing a beautiful job picking up those front feet. There, I tried to see if I could wait just a second to see if she wouldn't pull it out of my hand, but she didn't yank it forward so much as just moved it around, and that was perfectly okay. The back feet are still a little bit tricky for her, but this is one of our first sessions doing this, and she's doing a wonderful job. So here I went to go move the camera because I'm still using my iPhone at this point, so it doesn't track me. So she's still struggling with that back foot, just not even understanding what it is I'm asking for. And I do pull up a little bit. I'm trying to get her to trigger a response, but I'm not necessarily using a continuous pressure. I give a little bit of an up and then I let go, and then a little bit of an up and let go. And I'm just trying to trigger that, what is going on, lady? And then like pick up the foot, and I want to reward that. So it's more of a shaping process. I'm capturing a moment versus forcing a response. And there, even though she walked forward, I chose to reward it because the foot did come up when I asked. All right, so now we're continuing to work with the back feet. We had a brief little break as I talked to somebody, and it was great for River to have that little short break. And now we're continuing working on those back feet. Again, her reward is the scratches, and she really enjoys them. We haven't been working much with a food reinforcer at this point, and that's perfectly okay if the horse enjoys having scratches. But I find it's been really helpful and had been really helpful to teach River to do all this at liberty, because since picking up the feet is already a form of feeling trapped for the horse, kind of in a way, I didn't want to add the restriction of either being held by a handler or tied or something else. I wanted her just to be completely free to move off if she wanted to. And there I did like before, where I just kind of pulled up a little bit, then released a little bit and pulled up until she offered the behavior. And then I kind of helped bring her foot up too, because she was kind of getting tired of this whole leg picking up thing. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Check out the website and the rest of River's progress videos.